Tada, Natan. Thank you. Natan Sharansky is a hero of the Jewish people. He's also a great chess player. And of course I raised that because aided by the late Tommy Lapid, I played with him the only game of chess after the age of 15 before the elections of 1999. I tied. I quit. In full glory, I had not played another game until recently with him against Boris Gelfand, I think. We almost won. No, we tied. Tied. A great hero of the Jewish people in many ways, in important ways. It's very good to be with all of you. Stu, a very thoughtful, committed thinker about our problem, the Jewish problem. And there are so many others here, close friends, who under the important work of Avinoam bring together really people who are thinking about the future of the Jewish state and the Jewish people. And they are inextricably bound. I don't think there's a future for the Jewish people without a future for the Jewish state. But I think the future of the Jewish state is important, is inextricably bound also with the commitment of the Jewish people to the nation state of the Jews. So I want to thank you all for dedicating your valuable time, for considering the ways to enable the Jewish people to address the great challenges that we face in the first part of the 20th century. Now, at the end of the 19th century, there was a visionary who decided to dedicate his life to that very same purpose. Theodor Herzl saw the downtrodden condition of the Jewish people. He saw the storms that were gathering against them. And he laid out a clear path that he believed would enable them to weather the storms and direct their destiny to safer shores. So Herzl was right about many things. He was right about the need for a Jewish state and the need for a Jewish army to defend the state like all states against impending attacks. He was right about the dangers that loomed on the horizon. He was right that the restoration of the Jewish sovereignty in the Holy Land was not merely an age-old fantasy, but a practical goal that could be achieved at the present. But Herzl, I think, was too optimistic about the impact that the Jewish state would have on anti-Semitism. He believed that the rebirth of the Jewish state would gradually put an end to anti-Semitism, and many of the early Zionists enthusiastically agreed with him. They thought that the establishment of a Jewish state would be an antidote to the age-old hatred of the Jews. And the irony is that over a century later, many now believe that the Jewish state is the cause of that hatred. And of course, both these views are wrong. The Jewish state is neither the cause nor the cure for anti-Semitism. The establishment of Israel and the remarkable return of the Jewish people to their homeland did not end hatred towards the Jews. It merely redirected it. The old hatred against the Jews as a people has been transformed into a new hatred against the Jewish state. And in fact, the decades following the Holocaust, the son the Jews now have the power to defend themselves. And this remains the single greatest transformation of the Jewish condition in modern times. And that is why the key to securing the Jewish future is to secure a strong Jewish state. So in planning for the coming decades, we have to recognize the great dualism that marks our national life in Israel. It's a dualism of remarkable progress and extraordinary threats. We live under a dual existence. Israel's achievements in the last 62 years are truly breathtaking. We are a global leader in high technology. Our scientists win Nobel Prizes. Our innovations in agriculture and medicine, in water and energy, and countless other fields are changing the world. They're in every continent, and many of the instruments that we use in modern life, especially in communication, and a lot of the medicines we take that cure illnesses, many of them originate in Zion and in Tel Aviv. And beyond science and technology, Israel is a font of artistic creativity with one of the most vibrant and dynamic societies on the globe. This is the positive side. But at the same time, and this may heighten the achievements that I've just described, we are a tiny country that faces threats not faced by any other nation. There is a sovereign nation not far from here that is developing nuclear weapons, atomic bombs, openly calling for our destruction, calling for wiping us off the map. Its terror proxies work every day to advance that goal. These threats have been heightened considerably by an unlikely coalition that has brought together the forces of militant Islam with morally confused fellow travelers in the free world, and both forces work to deny Israel the most elementary rights to defend itself. The former works with missiles and suicide bombers, the latter through misnamed bodies like the UN Human Rights Commission, UN Human Rights Council, and their attempts to abuse the International Court of Justice. In the face of these challenges, we have to strengthen and accelerate Israel's progress, and we have to reduce the threats it faces. A key to Israel's progress is to continue to free Israel's economy and unleash the remarkable talents of our people. If Israel is to remain strong, defense costs money, a lot of money, and it's going to cost more and more and more money. There is no way that Israel can meet the collective needs of its defense without unleashing its individual talents. That's the only way, if I can speak from a collectivist point of view, the only way we can meet our defense needs, and they are growing, and they will grow more and more and more, is to have a remarkably entrepreneurial society. And if we are to remain strong in the global market, we have to be more competitive. It's not only defense that we have to fund. We have to fund education. We have to fund education. We have a growing and aging population. That's a blessing. We have one of the longest living populations in the world. And that needs a lot of money. It required, for example, pension reform that we did. You heard of something that is going on in a certain country in Europe, raising the age to 60 to 62, the retirement age. We raised it to 67, where I think we're number one in the world. Why? Because we recognize there's no other way to fund our future. And as someone who led that reform, I can tell you it's not easy. But we did many, many, many other reforms, all clustered together I always thought as finance minister that it makes sense to maximize the number of reforms per national strike. We have to have this growth to fund education, to fund our society, to fund our elders, to fund our defense. And we have done this. We have changed this country. If you came here 15 years ago, it was a different country. If you'll be here 15 years from now, it will be a different country.